All right, so let's go ahead and talk about what we mean when we finance or purchase a car. So, financing really is just borrowing money or taking out a loan to purchase the car. So, you don't have, let's say, a $30,000 car. You don't have $30,000 to fork out and buy the car, but you want to own it. So, that's what financing allows you to do. So, as it says here, financing a car is taking out a loan, you're borrowing money to buy the car. Now, what are the benefits? There's a lot of benefits. We're going to compare these to leasing, but the one big upside is that you eventually own it. It's not like you're just giving money away and renting it like you would with a lease. There's a value to it, so you get that car at the end. Now, should I buy brand new or used? Now, you can finance a used car or you could finance a brand new car. So it really depends on what you want to do. So you have to factor in, does, 2 or 3 years make a difference to you? Say you wanted to purchase a 2020 car and it's $40,000, but the same model 2 years earlier is $10,000 less. That's on you to decide which one you want to do. So now, applying for a loan. So when you take out a car loan or a loan on anything, there's typically an interest rate. So how does the bank make money, or how do they profit from giving you that loan? Now, they don't just give out money for no reason. So interest is applied to any loan. It's an inflated percentage that really just adds on a little bit of money as you pay it off, and it all adds up at the end on the total loan, and you'll see that on the next page. So it's a little bit of an extra cost. Now, how much does that change the sticker price of the car? So at the end of the day, when you factor in interest, that increased amount that the bank makes off of you borrowing money, how much does it change that sticker price? And then how long can I take a loan for? Typically, there's a few options. The most common is 60 months when buying a car. That's 5 years. Think 12 months in a year times 5 years, that's 60 months. You can do it for as long or as short as you want. So you have to think, if it's a longer time period, the payments are going to be smaller. Shorter time period, the payments are going to be bigger. Now, the quicker you pay it off, though, the less the interest affects the price. So there's a healthy balance of that, and you have to keep that in mind. And that's all something you should be deciding based off of what your own finances are. And then, is there a minimum amount I can borrow? So when you go and buy a car and take out a loan, most car dealerships will require a $10,000 minimum on a loan. So that's just a stipulation that they make. You can go somewhere outside the car dealership to get the loan and go to a bank on your own to do that, but the interest rates might be a little higher. It varies. Some car dealerships offer incentives on a financing, so they might give you a lower interest rate, which makes the price cheaper in the long run. So let's go ahead and look at an example of what it's like to lease a car. So let's break this down. So we'll pick any random car. So let's say you're buying a Nissan Maxima, nice car, and you have to take out a $20,000 loan. So as you see here, say we buy a car for $30,000 and put down 10 grand. So you were able to put down 10,000 out of your pocket. You had that cash available, so you paid some of the car already. But you needed to borrow the $20,000 to make up the rest to get the $30,000. So you're borrowing $20,000. Now, it all can change depending on how long you take the loan for and what interest rates you get. So let's say your interest rate typical is 3%. So that's something you could expect. That's an average interest rate. And you do that over 5 years. So you want to pay off $20,000 at 3% interest over 5 years, 60 months. So let's take a look. That is what you should expect your monthly payment to be, $359. Now, what does that mean? What does that number $21,562 mean? So with interest, you're actually paying a little over $20,000. So you may have borrowed $20,000, but the way the bank makes money is off of interest. So it's a little bit more than what you actually borrowed. You have to pay that little extra to get the money from them, but it's over a period of time. That's the whole stipulation. So that $20,000 you actually borrowed turned into $21,000 or $21,562. So $21,562, that's what you took on your loan. So in the end, after those 5 years, you would have paid that from paying $359 a month for 5 years. Now let's factor in sales tax. So if the car is $30,000, and we multiply that by our sales tax, which in Suffolk County, New York is 8.63%. So if we multiply, say by, got to change our to a decimal. So 0.0863. So let's see what that is. So 30,000 times 0.0863. Let me do it in my calculator. Times 0.0863. So that's how much your tax is going to cost you, $2,589. So there's your tax. So this is your loan amount, right? So loan, tax, and then 10,000 from what you put down. So you put down 10,000. Let's break this down again. Erase this. Make some room here. So you put down $10,000 out of your pocket towards that $30,000 price. So the car cost $30,000. Let's keep that in mind. You borrowed $20,000, which was actually $21,562 from interest. Then you have to pay sales tax on $30,000, and then plus your money down. So at the end of the day, if we add this all up, the total cost of your car is actually $34,151. So what you see is not always what you get. $30,000 turned into $34,000 and $151 or $34,151 really quick. So let's pay attention to that. Now, when you go and buy a car, these are things you're going to have to keep in mind. And again, your interest rate may vary depending on what incentives are going on.